Editing out.
Okay, so I'm with Coach Rabson here. Rabson, welcome to the clinic.
Thank you very much.
I'm going to take you through. So essentially what happens is people arrive here, they arrive in the car park. Show the car park there, Gus, quickly. Gus is our cameraman, there we go. So people arrive here and usually people's lives are in turmoil and they've been through hell. So we've built a place where we start off with the 12 steps. So we start to go up with the 12 steps. You can see, so we've got each step represents one of the spiritual principles. So we'll go with honesty, open-mindedness, willingness, faith, trust, courage, humility, acceptance, unconditional love, forgiveness, prayer and meditation, and I can't remember what the other one was. And then we go through, and then we enter into the reception area.
Okay.
So welcome to the clinic.
Thank you.
This is where we screen people,
Okay.
and we'll go over to the reception area because we can't. There's Zara, our receptionist. Say hello, Zara. Okay. And what we do is we check people, their medical aids and everything. See if they're suitable. They'll go into the assessment room and sometimes we'll sit with the family members here and I'll come into the family room and we'll interview the family and sit down and actually look at what the treatment outcomes are needed. So it's assessment with the biopsychosocial model, where we're looking at the biology of the individual, the psychology of the individual,
Okay.
and their social interaction.
Okay.
So we'll move over to Noma. Wave at us, Noma. Noma is one of our nurses here, heads up the nursing team. And the patient will come here to be assessed. And there's our wonderful nursing team. You want to go have a look inside, Rosie?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So ask Noma some questions. Noma, you're right to be on camera?
Hi,
Thank you. How are you?
I'm good, and yourself?
I'm good. So just want to have an understanding, a deep understanding of just what happens in this magical room.
Okay, so this is the medical office. So basically, after clients come in and they're done with their admission, we do a medical admission. So that's basically medical history, history of substance use, psychiatric history, and then we also do our observations and the drug urine test, obviously just to see what comes out in terms of the substances.
Okay.
And then we commence a medical detox that's based on a recommendation from our medical doctor. So yeah, that's
Okay.
generally what we do. And detox usually runs from about 7 to 12 days or even 2 weeks. That depends on the substance
Okay.
that a client is coming in for. So we also monitor the client. So it's a medically assisted detox. That's why they have to be here when they go through that process.
Okay. I've also noted that there are those that are more like on halfway. Are you also able just to talk more about it in terms of how it is done as well?
So halfway house is where we integrating our clients back into society,
Okay.
other than like when they completed their primary and then we just send them home. So
Okay.
they're here, obviously some work, they leave in the morning after their medication and everything, and then they come back. So it's basically a place to contain them and for accountability on the clients, because we do also like random drug tests and
Okay.
etc, and yeah, and also holding them in that space of recovery. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
That sounds so interesting. Yeah. Anything else that you want us to share for other people to just to know?
So I know, like in terms of there's a lot of people that are affected by addiction, and obviously we do provide help for those that need help, because it does affect society, it does affect families. So
Okay.
yeah.
So do you only have got like South African clients, or you also got clients from different areas as well?
Okay, so we do get a lot of international clients like worldwide, Africa, Europe, Australia. We do get like a diverse clientele base. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay, you're
Yeah,
welcome.
sure. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so somebody will go and be assessed by the nursing station, and they're looked after, and that's the biology side of things.
Okay.
So we're looking at the physical body. As the body detoxes, then the mental cognition comes on,
Okay.
and participants of the program will enter into one of these bedrooms here,
Okay.
and we call this the archetype part of this.
Okay.
This will be the warrior part.
Okay.
Yep, and this is really what separates us from other treatment facilities.
Okay.
Is we add additional components to help our clients deal with adverse childhood trauma,
Okay.
rebuilding the personality.
Okay.
There's all sorts of things that need to happen when. I hope you didn't capture on camera. And yeah, confidentiality is very important as well, because there's such a stigma attached to mental health and recovery.
Yeah.
So if we align this with the steps as well, this would be the first 3 steps.
Okay.
Step 1, 2, and 3. Honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness.
willingness, so.
It's about anger. It's about clear boundaries.
Okay.
It's about creating a structure that people feel safe in. A lot of adverse childhood trauma. The environment has been chaotic.
Sure.
So we create a healthy structure
Okay.
for our clients to start to blossom in.
Okay.
And we also believe in that the environment should be nice,
Wow.
conducive to
Yeah.
recovery.
You can see.
It's a nice environment. People should be not in a depressed environment,
Yeah.
because we're trying to build people's mental health.
Okay.
Yeah. We're not going to go into the bedrooms because those are private spaces.
Okay.
And then if we move to this area here,
Okay.
this area becomes the residence communal area.
Okay.
So this is where we're really starting to work on the social side of things,
Oh, okay.
where people learn how to interact with each other, practice what they've been learning in the classrooms.
Okay.
So this is the social side of the program. Yeah. So they'll go to classes, they'll learn stuff about themselves and others, and then they'll practice this here in the therapeutic community. And it's the responsibility of the therapeutic team to maintain a culture of recovery and a culture of resilience. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see if
This
anyone's
is
here.
beautiful.
So this is the area that people interact with. Got table tennis, pool, TV, dining area, smoking area.
Okay.
People still smoke.
Okay.
And people are given their cell phones a couple of times a day so they can still make contact with the outside world, because the world that we live in is very connected all the time. So we separate people from the outside world, but we still believe they need slight contact with the family. Why should the family suffer? If we have a mother here, the children can be anxious. So we maintain that, just people aren't on their cell phones all the time. So it creates an environment where people practice what they've been learning.
So they'll still be able to have access to their phone even when they're in this facility.
Yeah, but at certain times.
At certain times. Okay.
Yeah, so it's controlled.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here we have a kitchen.
Okay.
Yeah, personal hygiene And it's very important. It's a very clean kitchen.
Okay.
And lovely clean fridge, lovely, yeah. But hygiene's really important.
Okay.
And we encourage the residents to take responsibility for their hygiene and cleanliness.
Okay.
Because that's all part of someone's mental well-being. Have you got any questions?
At the moment, not really.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
I just wanted to find it. There is a bell. What's the bell for?
the bell, so that's to wake people up in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And so time is important. So
Okay.
people wake up on time, they go to group,
Okay.
it brings people together, and we put responsibility on the residents.
Okay.
So if you've been here for a while and you've been here in your third week, you'll have the duty
Okay.
to ring the bell.
Okay.
So there's a sense of responsibility on you, so you start to learn about leadership and taking responsibility, not only for your life, but for the residents as well.
Okay.
And it creates a challenge because sometimes people don't know how to set boundaries or tell people to do something. So this gives people a good opportunity to practice.
Okay. And I'm seeing this on the walls.
Okay, so the reason we have although we're not a 12-step facility,
Okay.
a lot of our residents like to go to 12-step meetings
Okay.
post-treatment. So we're
Okay.
always thinking after treatment, what are people going to do? So the reason we have these artifacts is so when residents walk into 12-step meetings somewhere around the world, they're
Okay.
going to know they're in the right place
Okay.
because they'll recognize these artifacts.
Okay.
Like if you walk into a church and you'll see a cross,
Close, yeah, sure.
you'll know you're in a church. And it's like,
Okay.
okay. So that's why we do it.
I've just seen something there, the pies. Is this something that you're able just to also explain?
You know what the pies are.
Yeah, but I think
It's
it will
a
be very
check-
much important for people to also just appreciate what it is about.
Okay, so when you ask someone how they are,
Sure.
you're not just, hi, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. You actually take a genuine interest in how somebody is. And someone's not just one part of you, there's a holistic part of you.
Yeah.
So it's physically, intellectually, emotionally, spiritually, and socially.
Sure.
So we're interested in the wholeness of you. So physically I might be all right,
Sure.
intellectually I might be bored, emotionally I might be depressed and sad, I'm isolating socially, and to be quite honest, I think all this spirituality stuff is a lot of rubbish.
Okay.
So on the outside you might look okay, but on the inside there's a lot going on, and that gives us as a community
Sure.
the opportunity to support you and help work on the holistic side of the program.
Wow, that sounds interesting, especially when it comes to me.
Well, it is interesting.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stigma still with addiction where people just think you must put down the substance, then
Yeah.
everything's going to be all right. You put down the substance, and that's when all the trouble starts to emerge.
Yeah. Interesting.
Okay, so this part of the program is called, from an archetypical perspective, is the lover.
Okay.
So that's about going into the past and making peace with the past.
Okay.
Yeah, so you've got some healthy boundaries in place, some containment. Now, how did you end up here?
Okay.
Yeah. Now that you're here, let's sort out the stuff that you don't have to come back here again.
Okay.
Okay, then we've got these 5 steps here, which also come from the fellowship-based stuff.
Okay.
So it's basically working on yourself,
Okay.
service, society, and then God in some sort. So whether you're Muslim, Christian, atheist, Islam, if you embrace all that sort of stuff, that leads to a sense of a higher power.
Okay.
And if you hand your life over to a higher power, things start to happen.
Oh, they start growing.
They start to grow. You don't need to do anything. This isn't Chronos time, like 12 to 12. This is Kairos time, where things happen and grow, like the nature of seasons. You plant a seed, it grows. Yep, and people need patience. So when you hand your life over to, I've addressed my past, I've got some healthy boundaries, my life can start to grow and fill up, and become abundant.
Wow.
Okay, so the step there, this would be steps 7, 8, and 9.
Okay.
Yeah. So 7 is entirely ready to have God remove his defects of character.
Okay.
8 is becoming willing to make amends, to right the past.
Okay.
And then 9 is direct amends. And we have this bench here because people will come and say, rebuild their relationship with their families. So the families come and visit on the weekends and that. You'll often see families sitting here just talking. So they don't necessarily have to talk about what had happened, but just like, yeah, would you like something to eat? Yes, please, I'll have a drink, and the kids play here, and the healing starts to happen.
Also, the family are also allowed to come at times.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
So they're allowed to come for personal time,
Okay.
and then there's structured therapeutic time with the counselors or the social workers, because the families often get forgotten about.
Okay.
So it's really important that they're brought into the treatment process.
Okay.
And then we walk here into your new life.
Okay.
This is the sovereign part of it. This is the king or queen.
Okay.
So this is where you take responsibility for your garden of life.
Okay.
Yeah? So we've been blessed with rain here.
Wow.
This gives you a good idea of what's possible, and so this really is this is what recovery is about. You've done all the work. You've got the anger. You've done the sadness. You've worked on your fear, the future. Now life is about joy. Joy and blessing and giving back, living in a spirit of Ubuntu, that sort of thing. So that's what this quadrant of the garden is about.
Okay.
So a lot of our work is about building community.
Okay.
Use all the water.
All right. Okay.
But here on the weekends we have the Boma here.
Okay.
We'll have a fire and the community will come from outside, and people will be here and we'll sit in circle and reconnect with society.
Okay.
Are they doing a group in there?
I think group is upstairs.
Okay, so the idea is the residents come here and then this is where group therapy happens.
Okay.
And what the idea is, people share a lot of their stuff,
Okay.
and all that negative energy runs out through this door,
Okay.
and then goes out down that river there,
Oh.
and then goes off the property. I don't know if we can open it. Where's the handle bro?
Okay.
But if you see here, it's designed.
Oh.
Perhaps
You can
notice.
see it runs down the river.
Yeah,
there,
it runs down the river that
and
side.
it runs off. So energetically, it's symbolic of all the emotions or the negative emotions leaving.
Okay.
So all the past, the tears, the
The
sadness,
shame.
the shame,
Okay.
all that sort of stuff.
I see.
I've been blessed with African rain.
It's well thought through.
Huh?
It's well thought through.
Yeah. And then you come back and then you're ready to go and live your life.
I see.
And then you get discharged.
Does this step also got a meaning as well?
Well, those are the first 3 steps there,
Okay.
which is really what you need. Honesty, open-mindedness and willingness.
Oh,
If you start on those foundations,
Okay.
if you're really willing to go and do something, it can change.
I see.
And then people come back here and they go to the cafe here. They go to George's Cafe here, which is closed right now. But people come back and, you know, they've got the internet there and they can work on CVs, and there's a community cafe here
Okay.
where people come together and start to rebuild their life.
Okay.
So that's our recovery hub.
Okay. Yeah.
Any questions, Sir Rabson?
Yeah, you mentioned something with regard to families. So is there also like a program specifically meant for families as well?
Let me hand over to Gus and you can tell them.
Sure. So we do also have a program for families. As David mentioned earlier, it's really essential that we also look at the families.
Okay.
So we do have every Wednesday, we have a family group,
Okay.
which is a support group and a psychoeducational group available
Okay.
to all family members of loved ones here.
Okay.
Of course, it can also be, close friends and so on, but anyone that wants to support them, they're welcome to come and attend.
Okay.
So we offer that support available usually in the top group over here for everyone. But I think one of the most important services that we do offer is, before anyone leaves the institution, we make sure we have a family session.
Okay.
So what does that mean? It means usually our client is going to, with whichever loved ones that they choose to have in that session.
Okay.
More often than not, it's going to be some siblings, some parents. Right? Sometimes it does involve some best friends or some uncles and so on.
Okay.
And in that session, we discuss what are the things that have been going well,
Okay.
in their recovery, what's been going well with the family, how they've been coping,
Okay.
and then of course, what are some of the expectations going forward, and how we can sort of ease them into life back at home. And that's usually going to be run by either myself or our social worker.
Okay. So it's basically healing the whole system.
Yes.
Wow. 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 That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah. Anything else that you just want to share to our people?
Well, one thing that I would like to share is that I'm also in recovery myself. I'm 10 years sober.
Okay.
But when I came into recovery, I didn't realize about this kind of compassionate approach. I did come through the strict 12-step process, and while yes, it did keep me clean.
Okay.
Right, but when I started working here a couple of years ago, it actually opened my eyes to the way recovery really needs to be done.
Okay.
And that is to say that just following the 12 steps doesn't necessarily work for everyone. It's about finding out what is sort of the order of the steps that we need to take for each individual.
Okay.
Not everyone has the same journey in recovery, and at this facility, we treat our clients as individuals in their journey of recovery, and we meet them where they're at.
Okay.
And yeah, that was really amazing, and that's why I'm working here.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting. So I think you've mentioned something that has really struck me so much with regard to how that what makes this is the compassion approach. Are you able just to shed more light on what you meant by that?
Well, what we mean by a compassionate approach is when our clients come here, they're already broken.
Okay.
So we don't want to focus on what's been going wrong in their lives, where they've struggled.
Yeah.
We want to look at what is a new life in recovery that we're going to build for them, where they're no longer burdened by their old selves when we start creating a new life. And that's why we focus here on the strengths. What are the positive things that we're doing? And let's improve more on that.
So what's so special about this amazing room? I can see there is brain and the mind.
Yeah, brain and the mind is one of the themes that we have. So this one doesn't have as much, but let's go to the other room because that one's got the principles all on it.
Alright, okay.
So again, this is our other counseling room.
Okay.
And as you can see here, we also work closely with students, and they've done a lovely thing here for us. We've got all our principles
Okay.
up here.
Oh wow. Can see humility.
And again, it's so important for clients. They sit here, they're reminded of these principles and reminded that they have the power within themselves to practice them and ultimately change their lives for the better.
Okay.
That's the one I forgot coming up the stairs.
Oh, patience.
Yeah, that's a good one. Do that patience. I like that. Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much. It has really been an amazing experience just to get an understanding. Just by you explaining to me, there's a certain shift that I've really experienced. You know, especially when you are when we were at the garden there, it just made so much sense with regard to how when we go out there, then the second thing that we want to do is just to make sure that there is growth, and then there is that, you know, that aspect of realizing not just really our potential, but being able to exploit our potential. And yeah, and of course just having in mind that, you know, being able to pay much attention to families, because one thing that I've come to realize is that many of the time families are not equipped with the tools on how they can just interact, you know, with some of their loved ones who are in a state of crisis, chaos, and conflict, and how that they have to move from that culture of addiction or adversity, and of course all the way to that culture of recovery, that culture of resiliency, and to just sustain their growth as well. I think that's really stood out for me. Yeah, so thank you very much.
You're very
and
welcome.
yeah, this is Coach Rapson Banda from Zambia, and there's really been an amazing experience right here in Johannesburg. Auckland's at the Foundation Clinic, and you guys are really doing an amazing work. And I believe that this is what Africa needs, you know, an approach which has got a certain dimension of compassion. I think that has really been missing. Yeah, so thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
see
I
you-
agree. Every country needs a foundation clinic.
Yeah, every country, all the country need the Foundation Clinic, because the approach is not really, you know, from the bad psychology, but it's more finding itself in awareness, and that positive psychology is something that is very much important, because it empowers us to just realize our potential and find our kokorozashi, our meaning, purpose. Yeah. So thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Take care.
Thank you, Rapson.
And remember to own your mind. See you on the other side.
Okay.